What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and welcome to another week of Tester Tuesday, a spot where I review Scentsy scents based on your votes from the previous week. All right, let's talk about our first place scent by a landslide. It is Mint to Be Merry. This one is a white wax, almost an opal white, not quite pure white. And this one had 45% of the vote, which is the highest percentage of votes I believe we've ever had. Second place will now go to Cozy Cardigan, probably about 3 or so years ago. So this is between light and medium on intensity when you smell it on cold. And Scentsy has put this in the bakery section, and it will be launching November 1st as the scent of the month. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, merriment fills the air when crushed candy cane and sparkling sugar brighten a creamy butter cookie. All right, so on cold and on warm, when you first melt this, you get peppermint. To me, it is not a harsh peppermint like some of the vendor wax peppermints, but there was a vendor wax peppermint that I melted recently from L3, and it was a slightly dull, maybe a little bit flat peppermint, and this reminds me a lot of that. Now the butter cookie, I think what that is doing, it's creeping in and making a tiny bit closer to a buttermint. Marshmallow mint is more of a buttermint. This is more of a peppermint disguised as a buttermint. That's what I'm getting. So some people say these are exactly the same. This is my second favorite Scentsy scent ever. I love it. To me, these are not the same. So it's going to be hard for someone to top marshmallow mint. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. It's a good scent for me, just not a home run. All right, so the peppermint is there, and you get that when you're warming it, probably about 7 or 8 hours. It's fairly intense, probably 80% peppermint and 20% other stuff. And then the peppermint starts to relax and die down. And as that happens, you're starting to get more of the cookie. And the cookie doesn't read overly buttery to me. It almost reads like a butter cookie that was made with shortening versus butter. But I still like the cookie scent. I love cookie scents. It's really, really good. It does talk about sparkling sugar. I'm not really sure if you could say, yes, I smell sparkling sugar. I'm sure it's there to add sweetness. Now, what I think I would like if this had a little bit of a frosting note. And maybe that's what they're talking about with sparkling sugar, but I wish this had more of a frosting sweetness. I think if it did, it would be a home run for me. So let's talk about performance. I guess I kind of alluded to the fact that it does have a strong peppermint presence. Then the butter cookie kind of comes in at the end, and the butter cookie doesn't seem overly buttery to me. It's definitely not popcorn butter, so if you're worried about that, have no fear. But I warmed 2 cubes here in my bedroom. Strength and throw at max was about 7 out of 10. I left it going the first day 18.5 hours. Then I turned it off. Now, I would say half of that time, maybe a little less, intense dry peppermint, a little bit of a dull, not a vibrant peppermint. Then the cookie came in. And once the cookie came in, the intensity dropped, I would say 4 out of 10. So, and I enjoyed it. It was a nice, creamy, delicious vanilla bakery cookie scent that I do enjoy. I just wish it was a touch stronger when it got to that stage. I did warm 2 cubes in Ryan's room. Strength and throw there was about 6 out of 10, a little bit lighter. I left it going a full day. Similar in characteristics. And then in Erica's room, I used 3 cubes because I actually added a mini warmer to her room. Strength and throw there was about 7 to 7.5 starting out, and again, dipped. Now I will say, in all 3 spots I warmed it, I did try an extra day, but it just couldn't get going enough that it would scent the room. So I would say this, for me and my home, was a 1-day type of scent. But I did enjoy it for the long day, and it was a 2-phase, peppermint followed by the cookie. So I think this is very much a scent that you could probably warm all year round, but it's more tailored to the winter months. Now, it's also, in my opinion, tailored to medium to small spaces. I don't think this would do well in my open layout. I probably wouldn't try it there. But if you have an enclosed, somewhat tight open concept, then you might want to give it a try. You might just have to use a little bit more wax. So let's just talk a little bit about all the other scents. I already mentioned that marshmallow mint is my favorite. This one is a very creamy buttermint with a nice dreamy billowy marshmallow, and they're about 50-50 in my eyes, but there's the amber, and the amber just provides that special magical dusting of something that just makes it permeate the air in the most beautiful way. Love this, highly recommend. It's probably maybe slightly lighter than this one, but it maintains its level of scent a little bit better. It doesn't have the dip. Then we have candy cane buttercream, which is available now. This one is a peppermint with a vanilla bean buttercream. This one is almost non-existent for me in my home. I did try 4 cubes in my TV room and I could barely smell it. It was probably like a 2 or 3 out of 10 and it took hours to get to that. Once I could smell it, it was enjoyable, but it was just so light. It almost smelled like a scent would on day 2 after warming for a full day. That's what it smelled like out of the gate. So this one for me is a waste of ching ching. But I know a lot of people really like it. So I think if you're peppermint sensitive, this is the way to go. And obviously we also have Peppermint Dreams, which is a little bit different in that it's a peppermint and a chocolate. Now it's funny, as the chocolate warms, it does kind of mimic vanilla to me. This is a great performing scent. The peppermint is more intense than Mint to Be Merry, and you obviously have the chocolate note. And so this is a bit stronger peppermint. And I would say the mint in Mint to Be Merry is in between a peppermint and a buttermint. Depends on how your nose picks it up. My nose picks it up somewhere in between. So there you go. Will I be repurchasing Mint to Be Merry? I'm actually not going to. Not that I don't like it, I do. But when you have your absolute favorite and you have it in your club, then I'm gonna go with Marshmallow Mint. But I think if you don't have Marshmallow Mint, you definitely wanna pick up Mint to Be Merry. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week. It is a Walnut Raisin Muffin. This one had 26% of the vote. It's this dark maroon colored wax, about a medium, just shy of, on Cold Snip. And this was former scent of the month for October of 2020. And what I've done is I've grabbed my sheet because there are top, mid, and base notes to this. So I remember October 2020, it was back when the pandemic was happening. So let's talk about this. This is also in the bakery category and it's no longer available, but you never know. Sometimes we see it in flash sales, although not the recent flash sale, but let's not get into that. All right, scent description. It says, fresh from the oven, baked muffin spiced with cinnamon and filled with decadent golden raisins and walnuts. Fresh from the oven, baked muffin. Then we have cinnamon and golden raisins and walnuts. All right, my complaint with this always over time has been it hasn't performed up to what I'd like, but I do love the scent. Love it. So what I get the most and what I believe is the star of the show is the raisin. And raisin has a lot of sweetness, but it's not like sugary sweetness. It's like a natural sweetness, if that makes any sense. It's not white sugar sweetness. It's like a natural sweetness. And this scent has layers and they all melt together perfectly. So you're not saying, oh my gosh, it's too much of spice, because you do get a little bit of cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, that kind of amalgamated scent, but nothing steals the show. And then maybe the walnut is providing just a tiny bit of that complexity in this scent, but again, doesn't steal the show. The muffin, where the heck's the muffin? There's not a lot of muffin in here, but it does remind me a little bit of those, you know, those bakeries, they're like artisanal bakeries, and they're very earthy and they use a lot of, like that kind of muffin flavor might be in here, but it's not like going to Dunkin' Donuts or Tim Hortons and getting their muffins. It's not to that level. This is a little bit more in a good way. So let's talk about the top notes. I'll read them to you. It says spiced pumpkin, golden raisin, and applesauce. I can see all those things, but what I get the most is the raisin. The mid notes, it says cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, and chopped walnuts. Yes. And base notes, it says fruity maple, creamy caramel, and muffin accord. I'm not sure about those. I just know that this is the type of scent that when I had it going this week, I was loving it. So there's something called fear of missing out. So fear of missing out, some people say FOMO, but there's a new one. I'm going to put it down. Fofalot. We're like, what does that mean, Patricia? Fear of falling in love over time, because over time I've really fallen in love with this. And is it in my club? No. Do I wish it was? Yes. But I think I have 2 more bars and a brick, so I'm happy about that. I wanted to warm this because it was a flat bottom, so it kind of worked out really well. And this was an original scent of the month bar, so it's probably around September of 2020 pour. So let's talk about performance. I warmed these testers plus 1 cube from this bar in my entranceway in a 25-watt ceramic warmer. Strength and throw was about 6 out of 10. The first day I left it going 15 hours. I was walking in and I was like, this is so homey and fall-like. The second day, I have also going for 15 hours, but when I got home, like I was in and out, but then we had to go to a funeral. When I got home, the coffee smell that I had going in the main area was totally killing the Walnut Raisin Muffin. It had leaked over into the area I was warming this. So didn't really do as great on day 2. So I did warm 3 cubes here in my room because I know it's not an overly strong scent and sometimes I need a little bit more from it. So I put 2 cubes in my pressed tin and 1 cube in my, I think it's called Lavender Love Mini, which I do love that one. Strength and throw is about 6 out of 10, but it just maintained it very well over a 2-day span. And I was very pleased with this. So I do really, really love this. If you're someone that likes deep layered scents that are very homey, then you're going to want to give this a try if you ever see it. Especially if you're one that doesn't like too strong of an overly homey, sweet layered, complex scent, then definitely give this a try. I think this is obviously great for fall and winter because it does give you that comforting feeling. And some people describe this as their rainy day scent, and I can totally see that because it does. It just makes you feel a little bit warm and more at ease with things. So will I be repurchasing this? Yes. If it comes back, I will probably throw it in my club. I do really like it. It was really nice to have it revisited this week, so thank you so much for voting it in. That is Walnut Raisin Muffin. Let's move to the portion of the video where you guys get to vote. I'm going to present to you 6 scents, and you are going to vote for 2 different scents by early Wednesday morning. You can either put your 2 votes down in the YouTube comment section or find my Instagram post, it's Patricia Gates, and put your 2 votes there. So the first 3 scents are going to be from the Scentspiration spin-off line from Christmas Cottage, and that will be launching to the public November the 13th. So, scent number 1 for the week is going to be Christmas Cottage Cider. I apologize about the lighting. It's kind of a wonky day. Scent number 2 is Christmas Cottage Mint. Scent number 3 is Christmas Cottage Wreath. So when you're putting those ones down, you can just put wreath, mint, or cider if you want. If you don't want to type out Christmas Cottage, I'll know what you mean. Now, in this bag from Sport Check, do you have Sport Check in the US? I don't know. I have 6 or 7 scents. I have some from the Pink Awareness collection. I have the Frosted White Pine or whatever it's called, Winter Pine. I have some from the Holiday collection. So we're just going to randomly draw 3 from here. Sorry about the noise. Okay, so scent number 4, there we go. It is Frosted White Pine. I don't know why, but I always want to say Winter Pine. I do have a scent in my stash called Winter Pine. I do have to warm that. It's from 2018, so I'm probably going to add it to Tester Tuesday soon. Scent number 5 is Pink Spreads Hope. Scent number 6, dun, da, 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 Cherries Jubilee. So, thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.